here is some highlighted information. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to paraphrase it in my own words of what I think it means. I find this a useful metaphor for samatha calming meditation practice. In particular, it describes the process of retreating from the 5 hindrances to find the still, peaceful center point of the mind. Every student of meditation knows these 5 hindrances, nirvana, well. The word literally means to cover over, obstruct, or hide. And in this application, consciousness is being obstructed by sense, desire, aversion, restlessness, and sluggishness. The 4 walls of our room, while being obscured by the darkness of doubt. The first thing most people notice when they sit down to meditate is that the mind is restless. We are used to processing so much information. The mind has developed the habit of working quickly and is always hungry for more input. The antidote to this natural tendency is to slow down, relax both mind and body, and which of course is easier said than done. The instructions found in the Discourse on the Establishment of Mindfulness start with becoming aware of the breath. Then move immediately into training yourself to tranquilize the activity of breathing. Whether it takes a few minutes, a few days, or a few years, eventually one can learn the skill of deep relaxation. Peacefulness is living experience that can be cultivated by holding still, letting go, and allowing oneself to settle down into the quiet depths of the mind, again and again. One moment after another. The cumulative effect of this patient perseverance is a growing sense of ease, of comfort, of gentle well-being until bonk, you hit the other wall of mental sloth and torpor. And what I gather from this is that a lot of us, myself included, we do struggle with these hindrances, but we don't ever realize that because we're not taught. And I know in the law of assumption community and the manifesting community, we don't know what this is. A lot of, when I first learned about this, I had no idea. I was not aware of this information. I wasn't privy to this information. And this is why I'm thankful that I have the degree that I am in, because it is helping me. I was so stuck on the affirmations and listening to the subliminals and the sleep tapes, and while yes, I still listen to the subliminals, I still listen to my affirmation tapes. Once I started incorporating the meditation practice, that's when everything started to be a little bit more better. That meditation practice is key. Having that goes hand in hand with your manifesting. Then it goes on to say that moving particularly, we then notice that the mind is drawn habitually towards those objects of experience it finds gratifying. This need not be full on lust or the irresistible drive of addiction. More often, it is a gentle inclination towards what we like. The senses reveal in the sensation, the mind delights in mentation, and we are usually leaning into the next moment and faintly grasping after the next experience. Notice this and softly back away from it. In the other direction, we can also observe the tendency to pull back from things that we don't like or don't want. Much of what we encounter can be experienced with a subtle sense of annoyance or dissatisfaction. Yeah, I'm noticing the breath all right, but I don't like that pain in my back and wish it would just go away. I've been feeling like this lately. Can we also bounce between these 2 walls, between the impulse to like and not like what is happening? The experience of pleasure and pain is an inevitable part of the hardwiring of the body and mind. But the wanting and not wanting that arises with these feelings tones are optional, emotional responses that can be modified by conscious intention. The midpoint between sense, desire, and aversion is equanimity, a state of mind that is evenly balanced. It is a full engage with experience, but in neither favors nor opposes what is happening. We are aware of what is arising and passing away without inclination to change it into something else. When this equanimity is coupled with a mind that is both tranquil and alert, we have found the still center of the mind. You may well have to bump into all 4 walls over and over in your search, but you will surely know when you find this sweet spot because it feels wonderful. And what you take from that paragraph, if you take anything, is to let your 3D be. Don't try to change or force your 3D to change. Just sit with it, be with it. It'll naturally change on its own when you just let the 3D be the 3D. It'll change on its own. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to change anything. Let it be. Because the more you sit there trying to force it, and if you notice that every time you sit there trying to force it, it usually comes from a past. This is why a past experience. This is why you need to be careful and be mindful and practice the nervous system regulation and meditate on it. Because the equanimity, you need that equanimity. You need that balanced way of thinking. And when you are able to just be with it and sit with it and sit still with it and not try to change it, that's when everything literally unfolds the way that it should unfold. The doubts that obscure ordinary mind states keep us from the center point. Doubts about whether we have the right teacher, about whether we are doing the practice correctly. Many others are dispelled for the moment, and all is illuminated with trust and confidence. That trust and confidence part, okay? That trust and confidence part. The mind feels clear and powerful, even if it's normally battered by anxiety and fear. The still center of the mind is a place of universal refuge that can be assessed again and again. Once one learns the way there, and even if the experience vanishes, as soon as it occurs, which it very likely to do, you can retrace your steps to find it again. You may even learn how to hover there indefinitely. Okay, I hope this helps you guys.